What is up? What is up, YouTube? So today I want to talk a little bit about basically the HEX is the only token out there that is honest. If you really take a look at all the other stuff that's out there, I can't find anything else that truly is honest in 2020. No, I can't. Like, no. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about this. So, I like to use Brave browser. It's a pretty cool browser, but then I go to their page and I see that, I mean, if you go to the homepage of Brave, you see that even they are supporting Binance corruption. Now we have facts. Binance did a Steam hostile takeover a couple of months ago, and it's like and Brave supports them on their homepage, while their slogan is basically, "Oh, be brave." Yeah, we're so brave that we have an alliance with Binance that has proven to be one of the most corrupt entities in this industry, and that didn't even exist 2016. And it's bad. Like it's bad. It's bad for the crypto world. It's bad for the crypto world, it's bad for their own brand, and everyone is just so silly in this industry. It seems like nobody understands how to use logic. Everyone seems to pretend. Nobody. It seems like nobody's using logic. Like Brave is not using logic. Okay, maybe if an entity is kind of corrupt, and you are trying to have this marketing slogan and even the name of "Be Brave," and at the same time you're working with the most corrupt entity in the crypto world. That's not that ethical, and it's like it's weird. Uh, and it kind of makes me so repulsed by the whole crypto industry. Uh, yeah, Hex is the only token project worthy of anyone's attention at the moment. Soon we're gonna have DTC coin out with a new blockchain called Avalon blockchain, which I hope works great. But at the moment it's not out yet. The mainnet hasn't launched yet, but I think also that may be also a second truly honest token project that I actually believe in. But I have to see when the mainnet comes out, how that kind of plays out. But at the moment, yeah, Hex is the only honest token at the moment, I would say, in this whole industry, and almost nobody can admit it. Yeah, probably because this industry still is extremely small, but at the same time, this industry has existed now for over 11 years, and we need more, especially when we're moving into 2021. We need to really drop most of the nonsense that people have been putting up with the last couple of years. It's not okay. All this failure with the DPoS stuff, it's not acceptable behavior to have these platforms dragging along with so low standards and so low integrity that it would be better if they didn't even exist. They're so useless that it would be better if they didn't even exist. Yes, there are actually cases where projects and things are so useless that the world would probably be a better place if they never got started in the first place. So are we gonna get more honest things eventually in this industry, like Hex? Like, are we gonna get more stuff that's gonna be cool the next couple of years? To be honest, I don't really know, because that takes that people have to start to invest time and energy into that right now. They have to start today. And I'm not seeing that many people invest a lot of time, resource, energy into making this industry better. If I go to a lot of the so-called crypto news websites, they are not getting better. Most of them are actually getting worse. And yeah, people are not upgrading what they're doing. They are not using the best medium video. Or if they do, they usually have a bad camera, or they're not informed about what they're talking about, or they're not trying to improve, or they are lazy. I mean, if you go to these so-called news websites in crypto, it's a parody. They usually barely writes 200 words, and half of that is just probably copy paste from someone else. And there is just no accountability in this industry. There's no accountability from people that write stuff. There is no accountability in terms of like when people get confronted with reality, they do not want to update their worldview. And I think this is one of the key reasons why HEX can just dominate and just take over this cryptocurrency industry so easy. It's already top, I think, 23 or 22 cryptocurrency, but it actually probably is more. If we would look deeper into it, it probably is more close to top 10 crypto already, because most of those things in the top 20 is like a joke. Either it is some kind of exchange token, or it is some clone of Bitcoin, or it is some trashy DLT ledger that hasn't done anything to last 7 years. And I've been running math. How much faster is HEX going compared to other cryptocurrencies? Well, at the moment, it's going 6x faster than Bitcoin. If you look at the Bitcoin performance since mid 2013, going 6x faster. I've been comparing it against Ethereum, and I think it was 5x faster. I've been comparing it against Chainlink, 8x faster. I don't think, to be honest, that you can move that much faster. It's really like 5x faster than some of the fastest appreciating assets. It's a pretty big deal. It's the difference between 5 years and like 25 years. It's like 20 more years for Bitcoin then to do the same, if those kind of stats kind of keep up. 5x faster, and nobody is covering it. That is pretty bad work from these so-called crypto news websites. And that they're hating on this project for months, even when they get confronted with truths, and they don't do any research. Like, why should anyone take these guys serious? Like, no, we can't take you guys serious. So many bad actors in this industry, and a lot of people are not aware of who the bad actors are, because they probably buy up the companies. So there's nobody left to report on who the bad actors are, basically. Which is why I think video is like the ideal format, because you can see the person, you can see that they are you can see that they actually care about something. Because if you actually care about something, then you use the best medium, and you probably also post it on YouTube, because that is a project that has been here since late 2017 and has a successful track record of showing that they actually care about building a real community with video and with IPFS, and they actually have a real daily community that's actually using the platform. So yeah, video, if you're serious in this industry, you probably are on video daily. Yeah, and you're probably supporting also other video creators daily, because that's kind of like the only way kind of this industry can move forward, hammering down truths to people, because these other places, they're not doing a good job, and they probably won't improve at all, because they are kind of owned and bought, like or I mean, yeah, they're owned. They do not have they don't have they're so dependent on their revenue streams from these shady companies. Well, Hexicans eventually, if it works out, probably is going to work out, but we don't know how Hex is going to work out. We know that the smart contract is going to keep going, but we don't know how humans are going to interact with it, and we don't know how humans are going to change, if they're going to change their view on it. But if let's say it is successful, then Hexagons basically have this revenue stream where they don't have to be dependent on like big to centralized companies or like horrible companies with horrible business models, which is not good for this industry at all. You can have this pure revenue stream coming in to Hexicans, and then they can start making investments, and then they can start to, as I talked about yesterday, maybe even build up an industry around Hex, both virtually and physically. Like you can have virtual marketing, you can have physical marketing. There's a lot of stuff that can be done. There is a lot of alliances and friendships and connections you can do that can actually help strengthening the Hex ecosystem eventually. But it doesn't seem like anyone else in this kind of industry is going to help us. Yeah, because it's like they don't care. Like they keep gatekeeping Hex, and they've been doing it for months and months, and they're probably gonna keep on doing it for months because they just don't care at all. Same as these companies like Brave. I think the browser is great, but why are you working with corrupt entities like Binance? Or you're using, I mean, yeah, and then you're trying to make some affiliate money on crypto.com. Why don't you become an affiliate in Hex instead? Have you seen the big payday? Have you tried the API? Do you know how the share rate works? You should look into that because this is not like some nonsense project. This is actually something really good that we never have had in the past on this planet. Yeah, we never had any like Federal Reserve that humans can kind of use. This is kind of like a Federal Reserve, like you can be the bank, and yeah, and truly be the bank because you actually the trustless interests are being created daily. Now you can only cash it out, of course, by the end of your term, but it's like more people should probably pay attention to this because we do not know when the next kind of cool thing is gonna pop out. Because people that has been in this industry for even a couple of years see that opportunities are very scarce, like very or opportunities of cool things, like cool things pop up is very scarce. We do not know when the next cool thing is going to pop up. We know 2020 the only thing that is important that you actually care about probably is Hex. Now nobody knows what the price is going to do, can go to zero in fiat, but if it is successful, then probably it will be extremely successful, like more successful than you would even be able to imagine. It would make the crypto industry up to this day look so petty and stupid compared to what kind of comes next. And I mean, yeah, you should probably look into stuff that cares about computing power. Yeah, like computing power is king. Computing power is going to take over so much. And Hex is kind of designed in a way from that perspective of like computing using the best network, Ethereum, and the network that recently had their ERC20 tokens surpass Ethereum market cap, and that was without Hex, because usually these websites like DeFi Pulse, they don't even track Hex, which is pretty shady because it's the biggest one of the biggest market cap ERC20 tokens actually. Even coin market cap, the gatekeep Hex, if you actually if you look on their page about market cap of like ERC20 tokens, if you would list Hex there, it would be the biggest one. But at the moment, I think they kind of list the biggest one as like Maker or something. But the best banking product is not these lending things. The best DeFi product is like a certificate of deposit product, and the only smart contract that's doing that at the moment and that has been audited is the Hex smart contract, which is complete with zero expectations. Like people, I don't think people understand what a big deal it is, and people people don't understand like the share price, how it's like exponential and stuff. They have no clue. And yeah, humans also, they kind of come in waves. I noticed that when Hex went up a lot, got a lot of YouTube subscribers, but then they kind of taper off and they think that maybe the fun stopped or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so just be aware of that, that there is really nothing else in this industry that's exciting this year, and probably not even 2021. Maybe, well, DTC may be the coin of the year 2021 when the mainnet is out. It's gonna be interesting. I am a big fan of Sorare also on the Ethereum network, but it's yeah, it's like cards. It's like virtual cards. Uh, we're making some small progress. Touch Social that tries to build like social media on Ethereum with Uniswap exchange. I think that's going to be way better than DPoS nonsense, and that can kind of be an improvement to this industry eventually. So I think that the cool things in crypto hasn't really begun yet. I mean, even all these ERC20 tokens that has been created over the years, maybe 99.9% of it is just trash. You have a lot of these crypto influencers that don't get smarter. Like they haven't learned anything over the last 2 years. I've learned so much. I learned that trading is nonsense. I learned that margin trading is nonsense. I've learned that deposit is nonsense. I learned that most people are not really dedicated to stick to anything over 2 years, and that's kind of why they fail. Most people that are starting to do something, they quit, usually within the first year, probably because they're not that passionate about it. And it's sad because a lot of people, like, I would love to like consume their content if they actually stick to like creating content. So we've had amazing video creators over the years and so on, but if they're just like stagnant, or they don't like improve, or they don't stay consistent with that, then it becomes extremely boring to follow them if they barely do any content. And yeah, if they're not consistent, if they're not acting in consistent ways, it's pretty lame, to be honest. uh yeah, it's very cool to see a lot of hex influencers. They're acting very consistent because they're in it for the long term, many years. Average stake length around 5 years, may even be 6 or 7 years at the end of this year. Because I remember when it was like 2.5 years or so, it just seems to keep going up, and that's going to be very exciting. So yeah, Hex, only honest project. Brave, working with the Binance, that's Corrupt. Yeah, and it's not just it's not just a Steam story. They also own Hive, by the way. That so-called fork of Steam. They own most of the coins in that kind of network. It's like if you search for Binance corruption, you could watch my earlier videos about it, but you can also watch a bunch of other people talking about this, how deep the corruption goes with Binance, how they've done a lot of other shady things in this industry, and it's just not okay, man. It's not okay when people keep on working with people with a proven bad track record in this industry. It's pure nonsense. So that is what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. And yeah, I hope more cool stuff pops up. But that means we need to see more people that are consistent in this industry. And it's just hard to see anyone be consistent in this industry. We're seeing DTube vloggers be extremely consistent, and they're probably the most consistent people in this industry. But most other things in this industry doesn't seem to be doing that much progress, or if they are doing progress, they're doing it too slow. So that is what I wanted to cover a little bit today. Also, the locked rate of HEX, I saw it went down to 17% tokens. Very, very nice. I'm not really sure where it's gonna be in November. Maybe 1%, maybe 9.6%, maybe 3.69%. We don't know, but it seems like ideal game theory would be to push it lower, because it would probably create more FOMO run eventually. There's so many aspects to this. Like, yeah, we don't know. We don't know how people are gonna stake. We don't know how people are. We can look at the data, but people also can change the data from a day to day if they do other decisions. But yeah, they probably would lose a lot of shares if they did that. So yeah, Hex only honest token project. That's complete, by the way. No promises, no expectations. Brave, kind of corrupt, kind of sad to be honest, because it's a cool browser. Yeah, have an awesome day, D2.